CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. I'm Bobby Capel. We are in the last weekend in March. In case you didn't know, have you finished your taxes yet? Have you even started your taxes yet? If not, we could be saving you some money in the next half hour and help you prevent from getting ripped off. And who likes to get ripped off? Nobody. No. Our first guest, Mark Green from the Internal Revenue Service. And we go right to the source here on Public Affairs on most popular guy in your neighborhood, I'm sure, right? Yeah. All right. Take me through tax time. It is fast approaching. Let's start with the deadline itself. Typically, April 15th is the deadline. That's changed this year?
Right. You have additional 3 days, so that gives taxpayers additional time to gather their documents and pull information together. I would strongly advise those individuals not to wait until the 18th, but, you know, in some cases you may have to do it. So April the 18th, Monday by midnight, file something.
Now, obviously, you're not making the decision on to move the date. What
No.
goes into that decision? Because I'm sure it has fallen on Fridays in years past. Why 15th this year or 18th this year versus 15th?
Right. Well, this is due to Emancipation Day, which is celebrated in D.C. It's a federal holiday. In some cases, Maine, for example, they have until the 19th. So we recognize those federal holidays, and we have opened this up to all taxpayers to take advantage of the additional 3 days.
Okay, so you mentioned file anything if you have a chance. That could mean a extension.
Right.
How long are we talking about? How long can you ask for with an extension?
But the extension gives you additional 6 months. The Form 4868, which is an automatic 6-month extension, which gives you up through October the 17th to file your return. The good news about this is that by filing something, you can avoid failure to file penalties, which can be pretty costly. So I strongly encourage individuals to file something by April the 18th by midnight, either the tax return or the extension.
How many returns are we talking about nationwide here and in the state of Georgia?
The nationwide, 150 million. Here in Georgia, 4.7. Out of that 4.7 million returns, we're looking at 4.1 million returns to be filed. As of this morning, we're looking at 2.6 million returns that have already been filed. So Georgia is on record-breaking pace, so to speak, in order to set another record. Last year, we had 3.7 million returns filed electronically. So more and more Georgians are taking advantage of electronic filing.
Do you happen to know what percentage of those people actually get money back on their taxes?
Well, that's a toss-up. I don't have that number. But I will tell you this.
A lot of people, though.
Right. The average refund right now is $2,900. So more and more Georgians see the benefits of filing electronically because they know they can get their refund back quicker.
Let's talk specifically about those benefits. You know, it was just a few years ago that seemed like everything was done pen and paper the old way. If you have your accountant, you have to go sign the paperwork. Right. Now it's all done over email. What, besides getting the chance to actually potentially get your refund earlier, is an advantage of doing that?
Well, there's several things, and it does definitely electronic filing that way is a paper version. The traditional way, which I don't have a problem with. I am a traditionalist, so to speak. I do both paper and electronically just because I'm an accountant. But electronic filing is fast, it's safe, it's accurate, but most importantly, more and more individuals want that comfortability and assurance of knowing that we have received the tax return. So we will notify you within 24 to 48 hours that we have received your tax return. Once you know that you have received your tax return, then you can anticipate receiving your refund in as little as 21 days. The good news about electronic filing is that it gives you those extra credits and deductions that you may not be aware of. So it takes the guessing game out of what can I file, what can I take, I should say, as a deduction or as an expense.
Personally, I'm wondering, you mentioned you're an accountant. Did you do that kind of work before you went to the IRS, and how did you end up at the IRS?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's
People always wonder, right?
Yeah, yeah.
IRS agency.
Yeah. Well, actually, I started out as a journalist, and so I got a degree both in journalism and accounting. And the good news about the Internal Revenue Service is it gave me the option of utilizing both. And the good news is that over the last 30 years, I've been able to give back to the community free services in any capacity I can. So this is a good block for me, so to speak, in order to give back to society and community.
You guys get a lot of heat, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
The targets of just about any complaint anybody has in America is always seemingly IRS-driven, whether it's hand-selecting the audits, allegedly, and all the things that have gone on there. Mm-hmm. Where do you guys see yourselves in American society?
Well, we are a tool that is needed. Unfortunately, sometimes it's kind of like, you know, I look at it from my child, for example, when he was sick, I had to give him some medicine that was nasty. He didn't want the medicine, but the medicine was good for him. So we're kind of in that same situation, even though we may not like the agency, the persona that it has, but we know that there's benefits to it.
Well, it's tough for any agency that their name is taking people's money for the government. That's going to be tough, but it's a job that has to be done, obviously. Okay, let's talk about some unfiled returns, because there is some money out there to be claimed. We're talking about 2012, and the 2012 year, there's actually a deadline coming up. Is that right?
Right, that's correct. April the 18th for 2012 tax filers. So key thing here is...
This is for unclaimed money,
This
right?
is unclaimed money. This is for individuals here in Georgia. Georgia alone is $29 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, 34,300 Georgians have yet to file a 2012 tax return. So, Mom, Dad, what I would encourage you to do is look at your sons, daughters, W-2, look to see if there was any withholding. If there was any withholding whatsoever, any, go ahead and file a return. You can do it for free. In addition, I would say look at grandma's and grandpa's 1099-R, their retirement money. Most seniors, I know, will withhold money to keep from owing the Internal Revenue Service. But unfortunately, if they don't have enough money to file a tax return, they will set it to the side so they will never file a return. I'll give you a quick example. In 2012, if you made less than $9,750, you was not required to file a return. But if you had some withholding, whether it's from a W-2, estimated taxes, or retirement, you should file a return in order to get that money back, because that's your money. Otherwise, that money goes back to the Treasury.
Tell me about the website.
At irs.gov.
Easy enough. 3 letters. Thank you very much for
sir.
being here. We've got more topics on the way when we get back. Here on Public Affairs on Peach, we're just getting started. And when we return, Mark has some advice on how to choose a tax preparer that knows what they're doing. This is how to keep yourself from getting scammed, all right? We'll be right back.